"Oliver, my dear, what a delightful surprise. I do wish you'd let me know. I can't offer you a scrap to eat." "I've not come for lunch, Mother," said Delft, sidestepping her embrace. "I've come for a talk." "Oh dear, that sounds positively horrid. Well, we'd better go up to the drawing-room. Maria is in the kitchen cleaning out the oven, poor thing. I had the most spectacular disaster last night, you wouldn't believe. 2 boys from Australia who do dinner parties. The highest recommendation and shatteringly good-looking, as so many queers are these days, but their soufflés exploded, and Maria had to run out and buy that new American ice cream that comes in 57 varieties. Monsignor Collins was here, and some frighteningly rich people, whom I wanted to soften up before digging into them for the Oratory Fund. Heavens, there's a terrible fug, isn't there? Jeremy's cigars, I suppose. Shall I open a window?" "No, Mother, just sit down." "Very well, darling. There. Where is Jeremy, by the way?" "At the office, of course. He's been working like a Trojan lately. So long as he doesn't overdo it like your poor father. Or like you, come to that. You're looking awfully tired, darling. Positively hagged. Anyway, I think there's something rather good in the air, so if you know anyone who can buy shares for you, I would scoop them up as fast as you can." "Mother, how many times have I told you it's against the law? I know I was a bit naughty with Collins Airline, but this is family, and surely that doesn't count. Besides, Father Henry told me in confession once that insider dealing, as you call it, isn't the least bit of a mortal sin. It's only a man-made one, so I really don't think it can be said to matter very much." "I tell you what, Mother," said Oliver, taking up a position in front of the fireplace, "let's cut all this dizzy Belgravia hostess nonsense, shall we?" "Oh, do move away from there, Oliver. You look like a Victorian patriarch. It's too lowering. It reminds me of how Daddy used to stand when I'd been naughty. That's better. Come and sit down beside me and don't be so pompous. Tell me what's eating you." "Well, since you mentioned him, let's talk about your father." "Darling, what an odd idea. Not great-uncle Bobby, but your real father. We've never discussed him, you and I, have we?" "Is there something to discuss, as you put it?" "Of course there is. I've always known, you know." "Always known what, dear?" "How you felt about him, how proud of him you've always been. I've seen it in your face the handful of times you've ever mentioned him to me." "Daddy was a very great man. A very great man. If you'd known him, you would have adored him. You'd have been as proud of him as I am. You're strangely alike in some ways." "I damn well hope not. The man was a traitor." "You're not to use that word. To die for your country isn't treachery, it's heroism." "But he didn't die for his country, did he? He was English, 100% Hearts of Oak, Village Green, Maypole and Mutton English. There wasn't a single drop of Irish blood in his veins. He loved Ireland, and Ireland loved him. Loyalty to your country of birth is vapid and unremarkable. Only loyalty to an idea has meaning. You don't understand the first thing about it. You wouldn't recognise a principle if it stared you in the face. You would stamp it with your dull civil service stamp, push it onto a spike and send it off to be filed." "I do recognise murder when I see it, however." "Murder? What are you talking about? Daddy never murdered anyone in his life." Oliver took a white envelope from his pocket. "For you, I believe." "Goodness!" exclaimed his mother, reverting a little to her former manner. "How wildly exciting! What is it, an invitation?" "I believe everything is in place. You'll note the little hair protruding from the flap. Open it, Mother." "It doesn't say that it's for me." "I have it on the best authority that it is to be delivered into the hands of Philippa Blackrow of 13 Heron Square and none other. Those were the exact words. Well, exact enough, at any rate. Believe me, Mother, it is for you all right. The gift of a dead man." "Dead?" "I'm afraid so. Paddy Leclerc died 2 days ago. It was his last request that you should have this. Who am I to stand in the way of a dying wish?" "It ate into my heart when you applied to the Home Office," his mother said, looking sadly down at the envelope and twisting it in her hands. "I remember how excited you were when they accepted you, and I thought how ashamed I was that a son of mine could be so unambitious as to choose such a career for himself. It turns out I misjudged you. You are like your grandfather after all, only a mirror image, fighting on the wrong side and with every good quality reversed. Do you have a knife?"